drawing a very good friend of mine. I'm going to be drawing Donald Duck.
Do you need a pencil?
And the great thing, oh, good, enthusiastic, I like that. And the great thing about Donald, again, if you do make, a couple of mistakes here and there, as long as he looks very foul at the end, that's all right, Thank you. Yeah. I have to say that as for kids in my country. Anyway, so Donald Duck, we're going to start out with a pretty simple shape. I'm sure most of you can probably think what that shape's going to be. That's right, it's going to be a dodecahedron. I'm going to make mine look like a circle. A lot easier. Right about the center of the page. You want to make a circle, we'll say about the size, say like a baseball or a tennis ball. And just kind of sketch that out nice and light. You want to think of this as a lump of clay. We're going to gradually mold it into Donald Duck, all right? So if it's not perfect, that's fine, because we're going to be going over this anyway, kind of messing up the precision.
Well, I can't draw a circle. I don't know how big.
So basically, as long as it doesn't look like a triangle, we can probably use it. So what we're going to do after we get our lump of clay, right, our circle in here, we're going to draw a line that goes around the left-hand side of the circle. We call this a vertical guideline. Now, this isn't part of Donald Duck's face. Don't worry, he doesn't have this big scar or anything. He's not Harry Potter. This is what we call our vertical guideline. It shows us where the center of his face is going to be. So it gives us a little bit of direction, helps us know which way he's looking. And then we're also going to draw this, very lightly, a horizontal line that goes right through the very bottom of the circle. And that's for his eyes and his duck beak, right, his bill. His cheeks too, obviously. All the cute Donald Duck stuff. And Donald Duck's beak, when we want to do that, you can kind of think of that when we put his beak on his face, he's going to look a little bit like a baseball cap, all right? So starting at the edge of the circle, at the horizontal line, we're going to draw this little curl coming out of the circle. Kind of looks like it sprouted a hair. That's going to be the right side of his beak. And then the left side starts just inside the circle here on the other side, and it's the exact same line, but a little bit longer, so that it looks like it's closer to us. Because you're always going to want to think in 3 dimensions here. And then you put the two ends of the beak together with another slightly line. That'll give us that kind of baseball cap shape for Donald Duck, or his head. So that'll give us the top half of his beak. So we still got to draw the bottom half of his beak, which is rather straightforward. You just draw this little bump underneath this top beak. And then we just draw this bump going all the way back to the edge of the circle. So it's literally the exact same shape. And then it will stop at the edge of the circle. And that'll give us his top beak, his bottom beak. I usually like to draw a little hint to Donald Duck's neck so he's not just a floating head. It's kind of creepy. So, kind of haunted, really. Anyway. What we're going to do is his neck's very slender. He's a duck, right? So it's a very, very slender neck. So it's going to come down from the right side of his head, right behind his beak. Come down right about here. And then the front of his neck, since it is a very slender neck, can come down about where the vertical line is. So we can line it up. So, just like that. Donald Duck likes to wear that sailor outfit, right, even though he's from Iowa. So what we're going to do is it wraps around his neck, of course, being, the sailor. So we're just going to draw the collar of it, though. So we're going to draw a loop that comes out from behind his neck. Pretty much just on either side. And that'll give us the kind of the inner edge, the inside of his collar, and the outside is the same thing, really. Just wraps around the back of his neck. Right, and then Donald Duck, his shirt has that little bow tie on the very front of it. And you can break that down into 3 very simple shapes. You draw an oval, very skinny oval, surrounded by a couple of triangles that might look a little bit like some pieces of candy corn. Because there's never enough candy corn. Now, I usually like to show where Donald Duck's eyes go. That usually helps kind of visualize him a bit. And his eyes go on the horizontal line. His left eye is going to go about halfway between the center of his face and the side of his head, and it's going to look basically like a really big oval. Some people like to say it looks like a duck egg.
Did you erase some of the I think you did quite a
And he doesn't have much forehead, so you can make that eye nice and
I'm
big.
gonna get it hot.
My Donald is looking way down.
Alright, and then his other eye, his right eye, is going to look a lot more skinny, and that's because, you know, if you think of, again, think of Donald in 3 dimensions, well, his head's basically a sphere, a ball. So his left eye is coming towards us, his right eye is going to be going away from us a little bit, so because of that, it's going to look a lot more skinny. We'll pretty much just use the edge of the circle here as part of his eye. Alright, then on the very top of Donald's head, he usually has that sailor hat on, and you